Eli Maroney, you sexy motherfucker.
What a sprint to get here. I know I just need a transition, man. I got on the wrong train. I got zooted into Brooklyn. I was so pissed. And then I literally sprinted here from the 2nd Avenue stop, got a smoothie. It took forever. I was hating the woman viscerally, with my eyes being she was just she was doing nothing wrong. She was just taking her time making my smoothie, as is her right. And I was like, I gotta go.
Well, you're here, man.
I'm
it's
here.
all good. It will be a little bit of a shorter episode, guys. I apologize. But Eli is one of my very good friends.
My bad.
We're going to get you on many, many times, so don't sweat it, brother.
All right.
How are you?
I'm good.
What's the news?
Is there news? There is news.
I think there's always some news.
There's always some news.
You said an interesting thing in that message. You said time seems to go slower in the subway.
Yeah, subway relativity. I think it's a thing.
Subway relativity, guys.
Time moves slower in the subway, and that is to aggravate you.
Yeah.
They design it that way to piss you off. And it works.
Yeah.
Also, I'm later. I told Cam, I was like, if I don't eat, I'm going to be a cranky son of a bitch. So I got a smoothie, but...
It's all good, brother. So how you been? How's the comedy journey going?
It's good. We got a show tonight.
Yeah, nice. That's for Jay?
Yeah, we're doing Jay's show at Fear City tonight, the Bohemian Underground.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
That's Jay Savedio, guys. Go back and listen to his episode. He's a fucking legend.
Here's something I wanted to talk to you about, because I was on this podcast once before with Eli Ramos. It was a lot of fun. We loved it. I wanted to bring up to you, or tell you, that during the recording of that podcast, I was not wearing underwear the entire time.
Why?
Well, on my way here, I don't know why I can never just get here, dude. Something always happens to me. So I was on the way here. I'd come from a business conference, and I stopped at my friend's bar. He has a bar down the street. So I stopped there to change. And while I was there, I used his bathroom, and homeboy didn't have any toilet paper stocked. Whoa, yeah,
that's the worst.
I know. So I was in a pickle, right? I was in a jam. Had to sacrifice a pair of underwear.
Damn.
And then I rolled up here and I just recorded a podcast. But I feel like that's a good little Easter egg. So if you go back and watch the episode I did with me and Ramos, now you know.
Now you know, guys.
I'm fully commando that entire time.
I've had to ditch underwear probably about 10 times in my life.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, it happens. It happens, especially when you're drinking and you have a gluten intolerance. And
and
I like beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a messy.
We've all been drinking a lot less though. The gang has slowed down in general.
I haven't in the last 2 weeks.
You're kind of back at it.
I'm back at it a little. I gotta pull it in, but I'm having fun.
Yeah, I did think it was really funny how we all met each other about a year ago, and then for a couple months we were going hard. We were all just excited to be working in comedy, to have met each other. Oh, the boys.
Yeah.
And then 2 months after meeting each other, half of us were we gotta get sober.
Yeah.
Harrison stopped drinking. You stopped drinking for a while.
Yeah, 104 days. I'll do it again. My brother's wedding is in April, and please God, please grant me my visa to go home.
Oh yeah.
Still working on it, but
that must be stressful, huh?
Nah, it's all right. I try not to worry about these things, because if you worry, then that's
what can you do?
Exactly. It's about manifesting. It's like money. You gotta give some away to get it back.
Is that how that works?
I believe so.
Man, my money situation is at a critical imbalance right now, where I think if any amount that I give away could change the rest of my week.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just gotta even just, I don't know. I try and get out I get out $40 a week in $5 bills, and I give them out to homeless people. But I don't give it to beggars. I give it to people that are strumming the guitar on the train, or people that are kind of.
I gave $1 to a guy on the way here because I was sitting on the subway super upset, and then Showtime happened. You know Showtime?
No.
That's when they swing from the.
Yeah, I love that. You should explain that.
Showtime is people roll up into the subway and they go Showtime, and they put on some music, and then they do a couple hat tricks. They spin their hat around, and then it ends with them swinging from the not the rafters, I don't know what you call them, the bars in the subway. People, they do a acrobatic routine, and no one ever gives a shit about Showtime because we're all jaded New Yorkers. So everyone's just pretending not to look. But I love Showtime.
Yeah,
this guy's doing flips for us.
Man,
that's great.
There's a father and 2 trio. Would you call it a trio? Yeah.
I've never seen daughters. I've never seen women doing Showtime.
And they sing. The dude is the dude's rapping, and the girls are like doing this like it's almost like an African tribal song, like na 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 na, all in sync, and it's beautiful.
That's nice.
And man, this is funny. So he sends the daughters to go collect the money, which is tactical because you're more willing to give.
That's true.
Young girls money than you are.
Hence the children with the candy as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this guy was sitting in front of me, and I gave him a $5, and this guy was standing in front of me, and he pulls out a wad of cash. He was only a young boy, and he didn't look like he was a wealthy kid, but he had like a small wad of cash, and the note on the top, I think he thought it was $1, but it was 100, and he gives it to the girl, and she grabs it, and then there is this like tug of war, and
she got it, didn't she?
And he goes, you know what? You can have it.
That's nice.
Yeah. I mean, but his face,
he was mortified.
Yeah. I think he wanted to kill himself. Like,
Do you remember we were at Judy Z's one time? I don't remember if you were there. It was one of the times where they put us in the shed. I'll explain. Like at Judy Z's, Alec and Steve, who I think you've had Steve on.
Yeah, I've had them both on.
You've had Alec on, yeah. So they run an open mic. I'm sure you've talked about it at Judy Z's. It's a lot of fun. There's been a couple times where like something's been going on in the bar. And so they put us in the shed out back. It's not the greatest, but like, so we were in the shed one time. It's only happened like twice, I think. The first time we were in the shed, one of the little kids with the candy comes in, right? And he's going around trying to sell his candy in the shed.
In the shed.
In the shed. Yeah. I went to give him, I tried to buy some candy, you know? So I like held up $1, assuming the candy must cost like $1 per candy. And I was just like, what does this get me? And he just goes, like,
really?
Yeah, a little like 8-year-old kid, dude. Reflexes like a cat. I was just standing there dumbfounded. And here's the fucked up thing is that after he took my $1, he was like, candy $2. And I was like, ah. So I gave him another candy for like my Snickers bar or whatever.
What do you think's going to happen to these kids? You know, these little kids.
It's not good.
For people that don't know, they're literally, they're Latin American. They're somewhere Central or South America, but
like immigrants mostly,
and they don't really speak English. These kids are probably 6 years old, maybe 7 years old. They're carting like boxes of candy, but they're literally on their own. There's no parents around a lot of the time.
Well, I mean, usually there's a parent lurking. Like there's like a mom in the back, and she's got the littlest one strapped in like a little I don't know what you call it, like on her back, and she's like supervising the operation. Yeah. Sometimes they are solo.
When I've been traveling through Central and South America, these kids do this completely solo. Like when you're sitting in like Cartagena or Medellin, and you're just sitting having lunch, like, and you're right, the parents could be hovering, but you don't see them.
Yeah, and kind of like, dude, when I was in Africa, I saw there was these little baby lions, right? And
wild ones or in a zoo?
Wild. Cool. We were. Have you ever been to South Africa?
No, I'd love to. I got some friends in South Africa. I'd love to visit.
Yeah, dude, it's a great country. It's a lot of fun. But so we did, like, I guess you could call it a safari. They have a national park in northern South Africa called the Kruger. And what's awesome about it is you can just drive your own car. Like, you don't have to have a tour guide. I had rented like something. I don't remember what it was, like some weird not American car, the name of which I don't remember. But we just drove it into the Kruger, like by ourselves. It was sick, dude.
That's sick.
Yeah. And there was these like, so what you do is like, well, I'll give you the whole backstory. So there were 2 cars. There was my rented car in which I had my now ex-girlfriend and her cousins. So like the kids' car, pretty much. We were like 22 years old. And then the other car was her family. She is South African. So it was like her family was there was like an adult's car. The adults tried to smuggle in liquor into the Kruger, right? And they were going to surprise us with like amaretto in the Kruger. And the security guards, they like search your car before you go in. So the adults got in trouble. What was the point? Oh, yeah, so then we were in there, and there was these like, you follow around the tour buses because they all like radio each other when they see cool animals. So you can just follow them in your normal car, and you'll see stuff, and you don't have to like pay for the tour experience or like have that much lamer time. So we were following the tour bus around, and these little baby lions just come right up to the car, and they were really cute. And you know, like you wanted to reach your hand out and scratch them, but you shouldn't. Don't do that. But like they're very cute. And then their mom was like lurking behind some bushes, just making sure everything was like okay. But you couldn't really see her unless you like really.
If you did try and pat one of those lions, do you think the mum would come out?
Yeah, or they just bite you.
Yeah.
They're like wild African lions.
Yeah,
Like even a baby lion, I'm sure, could do some damage.
Of course.
Yeah, take off a finger or something.
Yeah. But they must trust humans in a way, because if they're seeing them all the time going through in their cars, they must know that they're not a threat generally.
I think the baby lions knew snacks. They knew that people are a source of snacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do people still get eaten by lions and stuff in Africa?
Probably every now and then, yeah.
They'd have to.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah. That would be awful to watch.
It would be awful to watch. You ever seen the video of the dude who's like friends with the lions though?
No.
The guy, he knew these lions since they were like small, since they were little like pups. And then they're wild lions, but he just like vibing with the wild
I have
lions.
seen a few of those things.
Yeah, and now they're like adults, and he like walks out into the desert, and the adult lions come charging at him, and then they jump up and just give him a hug.
That's incredible.
He's like their buddy.
Yeah.
But it's terrifying. When you're watching the video, there's a second where you're like, oh no, am I about to see this guy die? And they're like, oh, they're friends. That's good. Yeah.
And they've got like the cat. They're like, the cats. They bring their claws out when they. I would be worried that they're gonna. Anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to get like cats like they need.
Yeah.
They sit on your tummy and they go like that.
Yeah.
You don't want a lion doing that.
Nah. It'd be cool to own a lion though.
That'd be bad news. Yeah, I guess. I don't think I'd ever own a lion. I've watched too many like weird pet goes wrong type documentaries,
Yeah, the chimpanzee's a bit of an issue. People have had a little bit of strife with the chimpanzees.
I still haven't finished that show on HBO.
Dude, there was this chimpanzee that like this woman had, and
which one? I bet I know about it.
this chimpanzee basically ripped her face off.
Yeah, I know about it. Is she the one who wore the veil for the rest of her life, or is she the one who just got deaded and then they had to call the cops?
I can't. I think she got killed.
So the one who got deaded, I think that was in. It was near. It wasn't super far away. I want to say it was in Connecticut. I don't exactly remember. But yeah, like chimp living in the house, dude. The funniest.
What makes them just turn like that? Do you think it's just an animal instinct? They're just
I don't know. That's like the scariest part, is that it's like impossible to say. Because like one day the chimp could just snap. Like this chimp by all accords had a good life, dude. After it happened,
what we consider a good life though, isn't it? Like we consider that a good life.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe the chimp like just wanted freedom.
Of course.
Yeah. So
he was in a cage.
He wasn't really though, dude. Like this is how free the chimp was. The sheriff of that town, it was like a small town. After it all happened, there's like an interview of him, and he's like, I couldn't believe it. I used to see that chimp driving around town. Like it sounds like I'm making that up, but I swear to God, the chimp knew how to operate a car.
That's insane.
And like it would drive around, and the sheriff would just be like, oh hey, it's the chimp.
Do you think we are descendants of chimps or a monkey species?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I believe in evolution. What do you believe in evolution?
Yeah, I do, but I don't know. I just don't know what we are. I don't see why we couldn't have just been formed from our own species. You know what I mean?
Well, there's all the middle chimps.
What's a middle chimp?
That's not the real. I don't know what to call it. There's like all the species of like chimp / Neanderthal like that like happened over time. And then, like, we just kept fucking killing them, dude. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It never ended well.
Well, I watched this documentary on the Neanderthal and how they lived for I don't know, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And they just died out. I wonder why. I wonder if it was the humans that...
The theory is that the humans killed them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they were irky to look at.
Yeah, pretty much.
They gave them the ick, and they
gave them the ick. Yeah. And they were just like, fuck these guys. But first we fucked. There was a lot of inner fucking.
Of course.
Yeah, and like I think red hair is a pretty good indicator that you might have Neanderthal ancestry.
I could have Neanderthal in me.
I've got a little red in my beard. I mean, like the odds are that like
I had red, like sort of slightly red hair when I was a kid.
Yeah, so there was a lot of inner fucking for a while. So there's like Neanderthal DNA.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, it was good for a bit.
I would fuck a Neanderthal.
Ooh.
I mean, why not? If I was back in the day and
back in the day, sure, dude.
Back
in the day, you'd fuck like a curvy piece of wood. You'd fuck a tree if there was a shape just right.
I wanted to ask you, we were talking on Thursday about how a lot of us are starting to like tell stories, and a lot of us are like starting to do a bit more writing on stage. And you said, I wanted to talk about that on your podcast. Do you remember?
Yeah, but I think because I'm all flustered now, it's not like coming to me. Could you jog my memory a little bit more?
Well, everyone's been starting to like tell more stories and get into a bit more storytelling. We're seeing like an evolution in our group of friends. We're all sort of coming up together.
Yeah.
But we're seeing everyone grow, and it's this beautiful process of everyone just every week, everyone's just getting a little bit better and a little bit better, and it's really fun to watch.
I think there's like an evolution that happens early on where like you start out, you're just doing your best like jokey jokes, like your one-liners and stuff. And some people get really, really good at that and just make a career out of that, which is awesome. But I think the next stage is like you have a little more confidence on stage. Like you're okay with not getting a laugh for a little bit for like a larger payoff, or like a new guy does the one-liners because like you need a laugh like every 2 seconds or else you will panic.
Yeah.
So I think the next stage is like storytelling. Like you can tell some stories about yourself. And then I think the stage after that is like fleshing out a thought. And that's what I see comedians doing who are like more advanced than we are, where they go up there and they have like a thought and they're like, I'm going to try to explain this to you. You've never heard a thought like this before. We're going to attack it from like various angles.
And a lot of comedians that I see that are very advanced, that I've watched their specials or see them on stage, they'll even pick on sounds. Like the t or the f or the k. Like, why do we say certain sounds that mean certain things? And that to me is getting very deep into a thought process.
Yeah, I think like I was talking to Kevin about this. Comedy, I think, is like we're dabbling in the art of the insane a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like we're trying to induce a reaction from a group of people that really doesn't make much sense. Like laughter by itself is an anomalous thing, right? Like it's probably like a fear response. It's a response to surprise. It's very monkey-like, you know? Like
It is.
Yeah, laughing is a very monkey-like thing to do.
I used to laugh when I would get in trouble as a kid. I would laugh. That was my response. If I felt nervousness or even scared, I would laugh, and it would get me in more trouble, but I couldn't help it.
It's primal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a primal thing to do. So like we're kind of like, but we're using logic to, or I mean, you could call it, I think it is logic, but not.
I'm just thinking about when I was a kid. I used to get yelled at by teachers, and I'd have to like sit there like, I'm trying not to. I'm like, they're like, why are you laughing at me?
Yeah. Dude, well, that's like, you know, the hardest you ever laugh in your life is when you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the back of the classroom, the back of church or whatever. Those are like the times you're going to laugh the hardest.
And that's when you get like an explosion. What's that laugh called where you just can't stop?
I don't know if there's a word for it, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, that is
like you can't turn it off.
That is as good as crying in the release of energy
that
you feel.
So good, dude. But yeah, so like you know what I mean? Like laughter is like not very well understood. It's definitely kind of like lizard brain shit. It's like we are using, I'm going to call it logic, but I want to make a distinction that it's not logical, you know? Like we're applying a system of logic that doesn't necessarily make sense in this world. But you do have to go like, if A, then B, then C. And through logic, we're accessing this like kind of like monkey-like crazy emotion out of people. It's insanity.
Yeah.
You know, we're fabricating insanity for people.
We are.
Yeah. I forget my point.
No, I hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, it feels like all like our group of friends, because we're all sort of in it at around the similar time. It feels like everyone's just leveled up in the last month. There's just been a massive increase and it's just like it's going in this really beautiful wave, and it's so fun to watch.
I agree.
It's fun to realize it in yourself and feel like, actually, I'm kind of picking this up a little bit. I'm just kind of grabbing this. Like I feel like I was saying to my wife the other night, I was like, I kind of feel like I've watered my seed and I've just got a little sprout through the
that analogy makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Also because like it's not like we're all growing in the same way. Like everyone's growing into their own unique comedian, but I think we're all pushing each other to be authentic and to be better. Yeah. You know, we have a good group right now of people who would like want to see all of us thrive. Yeah. So I think like the presence of everyone around each other is helping to push. But like if someone starts doing something that's like, you know, I can't tell you all, like so many times people come up to me and be like, yo, that joke sounds kind of like this joke that somebody else is doing. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, whatever. Like, you know, we're also like respecting the rules of comedy. So you have to like, if you don't make your own individual voice, people are going to like give you shit.
Yeah. 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 Well, there's a lot of guys that I feel like, especially when they start out and maybe even that are longer in the game, that they are trying to mimic certain comedians.
Yeah.
And you can spot it from a mile away once you've been doing it for a little while.
Isn't it? Who do you think I mimicked when I started, like early on? Who do you think I mimic?
God,
I'm curious.
I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to put. Also, we don't know a lot of the same comedians because I grew up in Australia.
Yeah, that's true.
I
This
don't
would be a
know a
better
lot
question.
of the American.
What
I
is-
just the other day, last week, learned who Patrice O'Neill was.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was until a week
He's
ago.
kind of, I mean, he's one of the greats, but he
I
is
love
also
him.
like, he's not like so famous that he's known like all around the world. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think I mimic a style?
I couldn't, I was just thinking I couldn't place you.
Yeah. I was never like, I'm a little bit of
Jim
an
Jeffries.
anomaly. Maybe.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
This is the only other
But
Australian.
I don't watch a heap of comedy. I don't know if that's I'm starting to watch a bit more now, but I was never like obsessed with comedy growing up. It was never like anything it wasn't even on my radar till I nearly turned 30. I didn't even think it was something I was ever going to do.
Interesting.
So it was never, I don't know if, I never like sat there and watched a comedian and was like obsessed. I want to be like this dude. It's never been on my mind. Hopefully that will serve me in the future.
Probably.
But
You
we'll
have
see.
an original.
I think all our friends,
viewpoint.
our group of friends are very original. I don't think any of our immediate friends that we're like in the group chats with, I think everyone's a really
No,
original.
everyone's doing their own shit.
Yeah, it's
for
really
sure.
good to see.
Yeah.
It's-
Who were the comedians? So you decided you were going to do comedy like at 30.
Yeah.
You had no indication that you want. Well, you wrote a book.
Yeah. I'd written a book and no, I'd wrote a book. I did comedy before I wrote the book.
Oh.
I did a course. I came home drunk, signed up to a course, did a course, got up on stage, and then I did like one open mic a month. For
What was the first comedic experience you remember seeing and you were like, I actually do want to try this? Or what inspired you to try it?
I didn't have any inspiration. I don't know. There wasn't anything. I don't even think I'd been to a comedy show before that.
That's so interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was just, but you know what? When I got off that stage for the first time, I was in the taxi. Mel was in the taxi. This is when we'd only been like known each other for 6 months.
Yeah.
And we were going home and I looked at her and I said, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Hell yeah.
I just knew.
It's interesting the
Yeah.
different paths that people take.
Yeah. What about you?
Dude, early, young age. The
Yeah.
first time I remember wanting to do comedy, I couldn't even tell you how little I was, but I watched Ace Ventura 2. Ace Ventura Pet Detective 2, When Nature Calls.
Yeah.
With Jim Carrey.
Good film.
Something about him coming out of that rhino's ass. To like a 5-6-year-old boy, I was like, this is the greatest. Like, I was cackling with my family. They're all laughing. And I was like, how great would it be to like make this feeling?
Would you get into film?
Yeah. I mean, I have a bit of a film background, a little bit. Like I've worked in television production, nothing like serious or that people would care about, but like on a very like minor scale, like in New Hampshire, fucking public broadcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know how to video edit and stuff like that.
I think you would be a really good actor.
You've said that before.
Yeah, and
That's
you're a great
interesting.
comedian. So I'm not
Yeah.
saying don't do comedy, but I'm saying you could do the two parallel.
No, I've been meaning to take up your advice on that because I don't know, like maybe I've never acted before.
No, I mean
Yeah.
maybe once you sort yourself out. I know you got a bit of shit going on in your personal life at the moment, but maybe
What the fuck does that mean?
no, like you're trying to find a house and all that shit. You're trying to like move around.
I
like,
know, but
you're
you said
busy.
it like fucked up, dude.
No, I didn't mean
Got some
fucked up.
shit going on in your person.
No, yeah, it's like you're in a bit of a. You're
I'm in a transitional phase.
Yeah, you're in a transition. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like a bad thing.
Nah.
You're trying to find places. I know what that's like. It's like you got to when you're in that mood and you got to try and change a little bit. You got to kind of focus on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
important.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going back and forth on if I want to move or not.
Yeah.
A lot, dude. Because like I could move in with these very talented comedians. That'd be fun. I could also keep my own place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's a hard one.
That's a tough one.
And at how old are you?
I'm 31, so like living alone is what I should be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But could you downgrade and just get your own place?
I'm getting the best deal right now, like that
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in a 1-bedroom in New York City. I'm hooked the fuck up.
Mm.
But here's the question: like, is it worth blowing through? Like, cause I put money away for savings and shit, and I have like a designated amount that goes into my checking. Is it worth blowing through that every month and living like kind of on the edge to like
I think it is,
do push-ups in my living room,
dude.
whenever I want?
Well,
you know?
we'll put it this way, man. Like Mel and I live in the tiniest. I can't tell you how small it is. It's
Yeah.
tiny.
Yeah.
It would put a hotel room to shame. It's really small. I don't have a gym membership. I'm living really cheap. I'm living like, and I'm putting my money into this and putting my money into like comedy because I know it's going to pay off in the long run. But I'm not living frugally. So sometimes I think you have to like make a sacrifice. I think I was talking to Noah the other day and he said,
well, either way, it's a sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
Because like I'll either be sacrificing like my own space to move in with two dudes in their like late 20s.
how much better would your lifestyle be? Like like would it be a decent amount?
Yeah, I'd be saving like $1,500 a month.
And would that give you a better way of life? Like, would your life be better?
Yeah, my life would be $1,500 better a month.
No, but put the money aside. Like the things that you could do with that money. If you're gonna just save it, like I wouldn't.
Nah, this is my flush away money.
Yeah,
like $1,500 of
like if you would use it and put it towards maybe your career. You know, like maybe like trying to maybe doing classes to do like maybe you do acting.
I do actually. There's a class I got my eyes on now.
Like if you're going to use the money to grow, I would take a sacrifice for a couple of years to like take the hit now and like
that's
like
what
you got to
thinking.
sow a seed for the future.
There's like a class I want to take with this dude who's just seems really cool, and then there's I need to replace my goddamn AirPods. Yeah, and the sad reality is, dude, I'm on that fine of a margin right now.
Man, I went away to the mines. Like I know what it's like to like did a couple of years of like working away for 4 weeks and then home for 1 week, and I was flying in my time, so I was really home for 5 days.
Yeah,
and sometimes you have to fucking make a sacrifice to get somewhere. But my goal was to buy a house, and I did that. But sometimes you have to fucking sleep on the couch for a while.
Yeah. Say la vie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll make the right decision.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Or not. Either way, we keep living and we keep doing stand-up comedy. And that's really what matters.
That's all that matters, man. I'm a big believer in like freeing up space. And if you're not like financially, if you can ease up a burden and like cut the cancer off somehow.
What I could also do is like cancel LinkedIn Premium.
Good.
That's another option.
Yeah. Cancel the gym membership. You could.
My gym membership is good, dude. It's cheap. It's like $40 a month. Yeah. Keeping that shit. But I'm sure there's other things.
You'll make.
Fuck Netflix, for example. Yeah, what's even good on Netflix anymore, dude? It's trash.
I don't have Netflix. I don't have anything like that.
I got too many things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could cancel Netflix. I could cancel HBO.
Yeah.
They suck now. Yeah. There's shit that I could cancel.
It could be fun living with people, but
I do like living with roommates.
It would be my worst nightmare.
Really?
I hate living. Like it's been fun. I'm glad I've experienced that in my life. I would never do it again now. Actually, no. Actually, I fucking would. If I had to, I would. If it meant that it was gonna make me like if something happened with Mel and I or whatever, and I had to go, then I would. I probably would just to keep the dream alive. But thank fuck. I don't have to because that sounds like a fucking nightmare to me.
Yeah.
I lived alone for way too long as well.
Oh, this is the first time I've really lived alone. And I don't mind it. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the past, like my like modus operandi in Boston was just to fill a house with as many friends as possible. And then just like boys' house. We all live in boys' house.
Yeah.
And then you never have to like fuck going out to the bar. Boys' house.
Yeah.
Like, people come over. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had places like that when like in my 20s. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Pre-drinks before you go out to town.
Oh yeah, all that.
Yeah. The cleanups on the week, Sunday mornings. Oh. Damn.
We used to do
the noise of bottles just getting thrown in bins like
yeah. We used to do our rent in one of these places was $2,000 and there was 3 of us.
Yeah.
So it came out to $666.66 a person. Which I was like, for Satan, that's pretty great. But if you do the math, one person has to pay the extra penny, right? Wow. So every month we would play a game to figure we played a pay the penny game. And whoever won the one time I was like, whoever won the pay the penny game got to choose the pay the penny game for the next month and basically like make it up. And my one roommate, Al, was always making up like trollish ones. So like one was like, who can chug a beer the best? Like not the fastest, the best.
And how do you score that? Is it like a diver? Like, you know how a diver dives in the water? It's like the least amount of splash, you know, like
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I lost that one because I like couldn't get over the fact that like there's no way to judge the best. And we had like two of our girlfriends judging, and then they were both like, Eli complained too much. He chugged the beer the worst.
Well,
so I had to pay the penny. Yeah.
I did a comedy contest the other day. It was kind of like I didn't realize it was more of a piss take than a real contest.
What does that mean?
A piss take is like, it was more of a joke.
Oh.
Like if I take the piss out of you, I'm like making fun of you.
Yeah.
But there was 4 judges.
Was it like a roast or like?
No, it was weird. Yeah, so there's 4 judges, so they judge you and they give you a score, but the judges give you feedback.
Okay.
So you do a 5-minute set. If you get through that round, you do a 3-minute set. If you get through that round, you do a 1-minute set. I got through the 5-minute round, and then on the 3-minute round, 2 judges gave me a 9, and then another judge goes, I don't like your sweater. 4.
Brutal.
And then the other judge goes, yeah, I don't like it either. 4.
Wait, so did he retract your 9 and turn it into a 4? Or was just there were 4 judges?
4 judges.
Okay.
Yeah. So it can happen.
What was wrong with your sweater? Was it the green sweater?
It was one of these ones.
Yeah, that's a nice sweater.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy, dude. He doesn't have good taste in sweaters.
The green sweater's it's on my
No, that's
favorite.
a good sweater.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a good sweater. What was he wearing? Probably looked like shit.
He was dressed up as a devil.
My dude.
It's funny.
Try paying over $100 for a sweater one time, dude. I dare you. Can't do it. Yeah, that's funny. I've heard about some of these where like you get the 4-person judges. But you know what's weird is that is how people will judge you, like in a general public type setting.
It's true.
Yeah, there's going to be someone who's going to be like, I don't like his sweater. I'm not listening to the rest of his bit.
Well, they say when you go up on stage, you shouldn't wear something distracting. Like you shouldn't wear something with like a print of a famous musician or something like that. You should be more even toned.
Yeah, that's the advice.
Kind of makes sense.
I'm violating it tonight though. I wore this for you.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then I have another shirt for the show later.
Nice.
But it's not a plain shirt. It's the Kraken. You know the Kraken like shitty rum.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a Kraken shirt.
Nice.
Yeah. Dude, the Kraken is some bad rum. Yeah. It's like the worst rum ever made, dude.
That used to be my favorite.
Well, if you're trying to get a Kraken sponsor, I mean, I support you. But like, it was my favorite too when I was like fucking 16, dude.
Mate, I would take any sponsor. I don't want a corporate sponsor, but any local sponsor.
All right, let's not talk too much shit about the Kraken. Because the Kraken would honestly be a sick sponsor.
That would be sick.
It would be a really good sponsor.
Yeah, sponsor the podcast.
Sponsor the podcast.
Sponsor the podcast.
People should buy the Kraken for the experience and not because it's good.
Be a fucking pirate for a day.
Dude, it's the most piratey of the rums.
Yeah.
It's like so much sugar. Dude.
I feel like a Kraken.
What is it spiced with, dude? It's like, I don't even know what those seasonings are. There's definitely licorice in there and like star anise and like maybe some cardamom.
Yeah,
there's a lot. Cardamom. There's a lot of spices in the Kraken.
Yeah. What's your favorite drink?
Like just like a spirit or like a drink?
Just if you had to go to a bar, what is the first thing you buy? Because you feel like that the most.
I get like old fashions a lot. I like a whiskey drink. Yeah, or just like a light beer. Yeah. I ask bartenders a lot to give me their shittiest beer. Like, what is your shittiest, most watery beer? Yeah. And they're like, Coors, and I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, I like a Bud Light.
I like a Bud Light too.
Same at home. My beer of choice was a 4X Gold, and it was a local beer. It's just a real light lager.
Yeah.
And it's cheap, but I love it.
Well, I went through the whole, like in New England, the IPAs are like the thing. And I went through the whole iteration of I think
everyone does.
Yeah, I was such a little cunty IPA drinker for a while. I was like, sip of sunshine. And
IPA drinkers are like worse than like wine drinkers. They're like,
oh yeah, that was totally me. And like, dude, I did all the other bullshit too. I was like rock climbing and like drinking a sip of sunshine. And like, I was such a stereotype. And then like, one day I was just like, what if I could drink more than one beer and feel okay the next day? What if beer were hydrating? What if beer didn't hurt? And then I switched to light beer. Yeah. I haven't gone back since.
It's the best.
Yeah.
And all those IPAs that
They're not even, dude. They're not even like good.
You can't sit there and have 6 of them. Like
No.
you can have 1 or 2.
You'll get a tummy ache.
And that's it. You're done. And like you have a light beer, a crispy lager. We're going for a beer after this.
Oh yeah, are we?
Yeah.
All right. I could get some food.
No, I got you.
All right.
Yeah.
I can. Well, it's not a matter of that. I got this show later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can have a lunchtime beer with our food.
Oh, dude, I've barely figured out what I'm going to talk about. That's another interesting thing.
How many minutes are you doing?
10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I gotta. Well,
It's good flexing the 10-minute muscle.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna be great.
It's always a fucking crapshoot, but it's fun. I like it. I haven't bombed in a while.
Dude, I did the ayahuasca
Might be
story
due.
at a show last night.
Yeah.
Like in front of 50 people.
Yeah. Did it go well?
Went well.
I like the ayahuasca story.
Yeah.
It's compelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People came up to me. They were like, "That was really nice. It was a good story."
It is
liked
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a bit of advice on how to punch it up a little bit too. So that's cool. I think
Nice.
a comedian that I love and respect was like, "You should say
Ah,
this."
dude, you know what? Actually, my proudest compliment I've gotten in a while. You were there. Fucking Jean Kim forgot to light me because she was so engrossed in the story I was telling on stage.
Wow.
She forgot to light me at my 1 minute mark.
Did she tell you that?
Yeah, she did.
She loves you.
I love her. She's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was just like listening so intently. She just forgot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shout out to Jamie. I'll get her on the podcast as well.
That'd be an interesting one. You should get Gladys on.
I want to
dude.
get Gladys. She's not well at the moment.
No, she's not.
So I probably should.
I haven't texted her in a while.
Yeah.
I love that Gladys texted. Gladys is the same age as my grandmother.
How old is Gladys?
I think she's 86.
Wow.
And actually, no, so my grandmother's a couple years older.
Okay.
But like, dude, Gladys is way cooler than my grandmother.
Yeah.
It's like no contest.
Gladys is cooler than everyone's grandma.
Gladys is a rad old lady.
That's what happens with women when they don't have kids. They become fucking cool.
Think so?
Yeah,
I
they
bet
get
it's a
cooler.
50-50 shot.
Yeah?
Yeah, I bet some of them don't.
Well, actually, it's probably more old women that don't have kids that do comedy.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a comedian, you're pretty cool, dude.
Comedians are just really fun, aren't they?
Generally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's obviously, but
There's tons of psychos. So many fucking nutcases, dude. But you weed them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gladys is a gem, man.
I love Gladys, dude. I'll say this. She gives Gladys is like an 86-year-old woman. She's been in the scene for 40 years, however long. Like she's just like an institution. And if she takes a liking to you, she'll give you like advice, right? So what she was telling me for a couple of weeks was like, she was telling me to pick my head up. Apparently I'm like kind of like down here, you know? Well, I think it makes sense actually, because I'm on stage, they're down there, I'm looking at them. So she was like, pick your fucking head up.
She does. She's really good. She told me to not, she said the way I was holding a microphone, I look like I'm gay.
Yeah.
She's like, you have to have it on a bit of an angle.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
She gives great advice.
Yeah.
So what she said to me, I got off, it was the second time I did her show, and I get off stage and I walk up to Gladys, you know, to get my advice. And she just goes, if you keep holding your head that way, pretty soon you're going to be able to suck your own dick. Fucking Gladys, man. What a goddamn legend.
What a legend.
Yeah. I love her.
We need to get her on a show. We need to get a recording of her, like a YouTube special.
You ever wave at people out here?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had people walk in and be like, knock on the door, like, what do you record?
Well, that's obviously too much.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Alec made a suggestion that I put a barcode thing on the window so people can scan.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Get the traction going.
But that's also effort. Oh, I got some good news.
Oh, what's the good news?
I got permanent slots in the studio now for the next 18 months.
Oh, yeah. You told me. That's great.
Yeah. How
Hell
good
yeah.
is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we can keep doing this. Can we put up art yet?
I don't know. Do you reckon we can put something up here? Surely we could put, I don't know if they'd like us putting like a pin in there. I don't know. Could probably just have something that sits on the edge.
Yeah. I want to get a caricature of you.
Yeah.
Like a real like Times Square-y sort of like caricature of your face and just put it right here.
The only thing is then I got to carry it around and I can do comedy.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just listening to my stomach growl.
I know, I'm hungry as well.
Dude, I was having such a good morning this morning. I'm going to tell you about my morning, dude. I fucking been talking to these Hinge bitches. Talking to these bitches
how
on Hinge.
How's single life?
It's pretty good, dude. Yeah. I'm not going to lie.
All right, tell me about your morning, then we'll get it.
All right, fucking dude. Talking to these Hinge bitches. I think I might be in love. No, it's crazy. I have a joke that I'm working on. Like, I don't like to do app jokes, like jokes about the apps.
Yeah.
It's so played out. but I thought of one. I'm storing it for later. But anyway, so what I will say though is that it's like amazing how easy it is. Like, dude, I thought I downloaded the app and I was like, I'll get like one match every 4 months, right? No, it's crazy, bro. Like, this is how people are meeting now. Like, I've been meeting people in life and that's been going fine, but just like, this is way more efficient. So, talking to these Hinge bitches, I worked out, called my dad. Walter's in a tough state, dude.
What's up with Walter?
Walter had surgery, not like a really minor surgery, but he had what's it called when your insides they become your they go out?
When you
he had a hemorrhoid.
He
had a hemorrhoid. Damn. He's had it for a while.
Yeah.
So he finally got the surgery, and the whole time he was like, "It's gonna be fine, minor surgery," and I was like, "It's not gonna be fine." I was like, "Surgery, like minor surgery, is gonna suck," and he was like, "Nah, it's chill."
she's chill. You got drinks there too if you want them.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so he got the fucking surgery, and then like I was like, "How'd it go?" And he was like, "Oh, I feel terrible. It's so bad." Like,
poor guy.
And I was like, "No shit, they fucking cut you up. Like, what the hell were you thinking you're gonna be?" He was just gonna go to work the next day, and he was like, "No, it's bad. It's bad." Yeah, so I called Walter today. I was like, "How you doing?" And he was like, "Dude, so this is how dumb they are in New Hampshire, man. Like, I told him to go to Boston for the surgery." Because we don't go to a New Hampshire hospital.
Not good?
Nah, not really.
Is New Hampshire a pretty small place?
Yeah, it's small and it's rural.
Okay.
But we're like an hour away from Boston, so just drive down there.
Yeah.
For any surgery.
Yeah.
Because they're smart. MIT is there. They'll do a better job. But they didn't do that. So they glued Walter's surgery wound back together. They didn't stitch him. They glued him, right? And it did not hold.
Oh, no.
So his belly, this is disgusting. We can cut this if it's too gross.
No. I just feel sorry for him.
He's fine. Awful. His belly opened and he fucking plugged it with toilet paper and then went back to bed and then woke up the next day and he was like, he was just gonna go live his life this way.
Oh my God.
And then me and my mom were like, "You fucking idiot, go back to the hospital, like get stitches this time."
Wow.
So he did. He's fine.
Okay, so he's good?
Yeah, he's fine.
What a tough old nut.
Yeah, he's okay. He's bummed out that he's fucking like having this bad a time with it, but it is what it is. And he's fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is not good. Poor bugger.
Yeah.
There's nothing glorious about getting old.
He's not slowing down at all, dude. He just drove to Philadelphia and back.
Really?
Yeah. He drove to Philly and back, and then he was like, "I kind of feel worse now." And I was like, "Yeah. You just had surgery and then went on a fucking 12-hour round trip road trip. What are you thinking?" He's not going to stop.
Does your brother live out there?
Not anymore. He lives in Connecticut now. He did live in Philly for a while.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Are your parents retired?
Nope.
They're still working? Yeah.
Still working. Still grinding away.
Yeah. That joke you said the other night about your dad being was it
I don't know. Talk shit about my dad
a doctor?
a lot.
You said he was some sort of doctor?
Oh, yeah, that's totally not true, though.
Yeah, I know. It was really funny.
I was thinking about using that again. It's in my short list of jokes to try a second time because that was a fun one. That was the 10 p.m. mic, which we know we've talked about before, and I got to go up second, which I prefer because everyone's already been drinking at that point.
Yeah,
and then I can just get up there and say some quick terrible one-liners that are more disgusting.
Yeah,
funny, but also edgier.
Everyone,
because it's late.
Everyone pushes that one. That's a really good one.
But I need to try that joke in front of a more sober audience. See if it still lands. Yeah.
You got to try everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like that one though.
While we're getting a little close to the end, but I wanted to ask you, what is your writing style? I want you to talk to me your process from when it comes from a thought into putting it on stage. What is your process?
I don't know. It's really tough. I mean, I try to write every day. I try to come up with at least 2 jokes every day.
That's incredible. That's incredible that your brain is giving you so much ammunition. It's really
well. I mean, sometimes the lightning strikes. Sometimes you're looking for it. Sometimes I think a lot about joke structure. I was doing this. I went to go see Hartman's show. Mm-hmm. He was great. The show was not so great. So while all these other comedians were going,
those shows are pretty rough. The talent can be very mixed.
Yeah. So I mean, Hartman fucking crushed. Did the owl joke, which I love.
Yeah. Did the crowd did the crowd love it?
It was the perfect response, dude. Because when Justin Hartman gets up there and starts doing the owl joke, nobody really knows what to make of it at first.
Yeah.
And then a couple people start giggling, and then it spreads a little bit, and then by the time he hits the punchline, he's got the whole He's got the whole room going.
Wow.
But it's such an authentic like progression from confusion to hilarity. So yeah, he did great.
Wow.
But he didn't go on stage for a while. So while I was waiting for him, I was just writing jokes on my phone, trying to. And like,
do you find that at comedy shows or when you're at mics, that's when a lot of jokes come to you? Because for me, it does.
Yes, but I think not for the reasons that it sounds like, right? It's because like you're waiting. It's because I'm being a bad audience member.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not like listening to other people and being like, oh, that's a good idea.
No.
I'm like sitting there and being like, well, we're here, we're bored. Let's think about fucking jokes.
Yeah, it's never, I guess it does look bad because it probably looks like you're trying to rip off a joke, but it doesn't. It's like those people.
Or like you should be paying attention to the other comedians.
You should.
Yeah.
But people say, but they'll say something I'm like, oh no, that brings me back to something that I thought of a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was like, it would just be one point.
But that's what I mean. That's not what I'm up to, dude. Like,
Yeah.
so what I was doing at Hartman's show was I had a format I was trying. So I'm going to just pull up the note. The format was, have you ever been so blank that you blank? And then I just filled it in with a bunch of different shit. So like, see if I can actually find it.
Yeah, you're really just playing around with everything.
Yeah.
Do you use Notes app?
No, I use like Google Docs. I have no idea why I could use Notes app. It's all the same. So these aren't like good, right? Because, but like, have you ever been so high that you got lost in your own apartment? It's not a great joke, but like that's just,
It's a good premise.
Yeah, exactly. I was just trying to fill in the blanks, Justin's girlfriend wrote this one. Have you ever been so drunk that you tell a fat girl you've never dated a black girl before? Because she's trying to set me up with her giant friend.
Really?
Yeah. I won't do it. But they keep being like,
Is she attractive?
no.
Okay.
Yeah. I won't say her name.
Okay. No.
What were the other ones?
We support all girls in this podcast.
You ever get so drunk that you call an Uber to Wendy's? That one makes me laugh.
Well,
like, can you imagine?
yeah.
Like from your apartment to Wendy's,
Yeah,
round up the boys.
That is actually really funny. That's a really good joke.
I need to think about it more. But yeah, so like there's that. There's sometimes I'll write like I'll pick a format and try to do it. Sometimes I'll be like, I want to have a joke about yoga. So let's think about a joke about yoga for a while. I still haven't cracked that nut. Other times you just get struck in the stem, dude. Like the good Lord just comes down and blesses you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll happen occasionally. I don't know. There's really no like rhyme or reason.
No, it's interesting. It's awesome to hear what everyone's process is because everyone's process is so different.
Yeah.
And it really is like, for me, it seems to just come at the most unexpected moment. Like the good bits or the good little moments that I get the laugh. It's like that normally comes when I'm going for a run or like not actually thinking about comedy.
Yeah. So that's what, like sometimes that'll happen. Sometimes conversation, you'll come up with stuff. I'm trying to think of another like weird example. Sometimes I'll think about other comedians like joke structure. Like that's why I asked you who you think I steal from. Because early on, or whose style you think I imitate. Yeah. Because early on, I came up with some jokes by like thinking about joke structure of other comedians and like trying to, like the joke I have about fucking my mom. A classic. Yeah. I was thinking about Louis C.K.'s joke structure, where he'll just like, it's his joke structure is he'll sometimes just say like a horrible thing out of nowhere, and that's what makes it so funny. Yeah. So I was like, well, let's do that. Yeah. He's. I don't want to hit my mom because I want to fuck.
He's outrageous. I wonder when he's going to come up with a new special.
He puts them out on his website somewhat regularly.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's got like, he did a Madison Square Garden one. I mean, I don't know what the last one you saw was, but he didn't like stop after the canceling.
I haven't seen the Madison Square Garden.
It was really funny.
Is it on? It's not on Netflix.
Nah, no one will pick up his shit anymore, but he's still putting them out on his website and you can buy them.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah. That's a good way to do it anyway, because he's got a lot of fans.
He's always kind of been that way too. Yeah. Like he's always been hawking his shit direct on his website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew Schultz does that as well. Like that's what he did for one of his specials.
Yeah.
I think that's, if you can be independent in everything you do, I think it's a better way to be.
It is a lot of work though.
It is.
It's more work.
The payoff's better.
Probably.
It's like, do you want to go to work in a job working for someone, or would you like to go working for yourself?
Yeah, I'd way rather work for myself. That's like fucking 80% of the reason why I want to do this, dude.
100%.
That, and also like I think a blessing of this craft, if you can like make it successfully, is that like you can wake up like when it's time to wake up. You can wake up like and not like to an alarm.
Yeah.
That's huge, dude.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Like there's a massive divide in society between alarm people and people who are living their best lives. And sadly, I'm definitely an alarm person.
Yeah.
But I would like to not be.
Yeah, it sucks.
I want to liberate myself from the alarm life. I want to turn that shit off. Start every day like,
dude, I don't go to bed till like 3 a.m. most days.
oh, dude,
now. And
it's bad.
It's so bad. But then I don't have to get up for a day job, which is really good.
I do.
But I used to get up at 4 o'clock every morning for years.
God damn. When you were doing construction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. I used to wake up super early when I was doing manual labor and when I was a journalist, dude.
You were a journalist?
Yeah.
There's so much about you I don't know. What the fuck?
We should have talked about this.
Yeah.
This is way more interesting. Yeah, dude, I got a journalism degree from the University of New Hampshire. And then after college, I was a journalist for a couple of years.
Wow.
Not a lot of money to be made in journalism.
But it's a cool job, I would imagine.
It was fun, dude. And I got to like, I don't know, I worked at, I had like a job at NBC Boston where it's on the web desk. So it was honestly really fun. Like police reports would roll in. Like anytime someone got arrested in Boston, I got the police report and I got to decide if it was newsworthy or not.
Wow.
And there were so many fucking good ones, dude. So many lunatics. Like this one guy got arrested for drunk driving one of those little, like his little fat person scooter that they drive around Walmart in.
Yeah, yeah.
He had one of those and he was drunk and he was driving it. His buddy was in the basket.
That's awesome.
And then the cops roll up and it said in the police report that they scattered. Right. But they got him. Dude, there was this other lady who went on a crime spree and it was such a fun day. Cause I got there at like 4 a.m. and then I heard initially we had a police scanner. So I heard initially on the scanner that they were like looking for this lady, violent crime, like she's driving like a blue truck or whatever. Who knows? And then the police report comes in and like she caught the eye of the police, right? When at 8 a.m, when she pulled into somebody's driveway, just like an unknown person, just ladies just like going to work, right? And a car pulls up into her driveway. So she like walks up and she's like, hey, what's going on? And the lady in the car just like fucking rocks her, punches her in the face, 8 a.m. Day over, dude. She had to get her jaw wired shut. Wow. Yeah, no, it was bad, dude. So she punches this random lady in the face at 8 a.m. and then pulls out and drives away, right? And then she was spotted again at a gas station where she tried to rob a gas station, then crashed her car into the gas station and then stole somebody else's car and fucking drove on the highway.
Crazy bitch.
And then they eventually got her, but it took all day, dude. It was like sighting 1 was at 4 a.m, sighting 2 was at like 8 a.m, and every time she's doing like some heinous shit. Sighting 3, she like, I don't know, she like robbed a fucking like Kentucky Fried Chicken or something. Sighting 4, they're in pursuit, dude. They're like, they found her. She's driving to New Hampshire, dude. She's gonna make it. Yeah, she's trying to get across the state line. She did not make it, dude.
If she was to get across the state line, would she be free?
No.
Okay.
I bet she thought that.
Yeah.
But there's no way. My other favorite thing about that whole saga is that it hit our consciousness as like journalists at 4, I guess it was like at 7 a.m. That's when the report came in that she had punched somebody, right? But her night started way before that. Like, there's so much more to the story that we don't know.
That's a good job.
It was a fucking amazing job. I loved it. We got to get out of here.
Yeah. Give us your socials.
Eli.Maroney on Instagram.
Anything else?
I got a YouTube channel. It's also my name. Go fucking find it, dude. You'll find it. You know how to do the thing.
And your mic, you do the mic on Tuesday nights?
I do the mic on Tuesday nights at the Grisly Pear. Yeah, thanks for listening to my tales.
It's a good mic if anyone's interested, if they're coming to New York City. If you want to get a little bit darker and just a bit more experimental, that's your mic.
Come to the 10 p.m. mic. Or if you just want to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's also
a great time. We have some random shit that happens there.
Mm-hmm.
Eli is one to watch out for, guys. He's a fucking legend. And he's funny motherfucker.
Cam's a sweetheart.
So
Cam, I think, is one of my top 12.
Thank you.
I was trying to upset you, but you literally can't be upset.
Top 12. I was like, what an honor.
That's not true at all. I was trying to get a reaction out of you. You're too nice.
What an honor. Jesus. Top 12? I'm one of the
Top
disciples,
15
mate.
open mic comedians in the East Coast.
Look out for Eli Maroney. He's a fucking legend.
No,
guys.
Cam's man. I love you, buddy. Thank
Follow
you.
him. And guys, if you like this episode, go back and watch them all. Everyone in this community is a legend. We're trying to grow this community. We're trying to give everyone a shot. So follow, like, watch them all. Eli, I love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
See you on the next one, guys.
Toodles.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to this episode of Going After It with Cam Bird. Produced by Cam Bird. Podcast edited by Calpit. Music by Brian Rigby. If you've enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. And if you can, get after it.